If you've been watching some of the videos with me and Bruce King, you would have heard Bruce talking about picking up the phone and making the phone call. So that could be with, if you've been referred, picking up the phone to talk to past clients. But what about, Bruce, the thing that scares most of us, picking up the phone and talking to someone you've never spoken to before, that cold calling? It kind of puts fear in the bones and the minds of most small and micro business owners.
It certainly does. So let me see if I can help here. First of all, from the point of view of building your business, getting new sales in, something really important to bear in mind. In an earlier video, I said that in an ideal world, you should be getting 80% of your clients from referrals and 20% from cold calling.
Okay.
The challenge is that you may get 80% of your customers or clients from referrals and 20% from cold calling, but, and it's a really big but, 80% of your sales is most likely to come from the 20% of the cold calls. Because the best prospects you could possibly deal with, the people you really want to deal with, the people that are on your target list, your current clients possibly don't know them and can't refer you.
So I can target very specifically, I'm looking for a national sales training organization, a national training organization that focuses on management or sales training, who's turning over $500,000 a year. Now, I can find that kind of stuff off LinkedIn and through web searches, and maybe my network of people might not know that, especially if I'm talking to another sales training or another training organization. They're not going to tell me who their competitors are they? So I'm not going to get those referrals that I need because I'm going to be working with the same kind of people in the same kind of industry. Get it? So that's why I need to pick up the phone.
So you've got to pick up the phone.
Oh,
You've got to pick up the phone.
Okay, go on. Tell me how to pick up the phone and make those calls.
First thing to understand is you're going to have to speak to somebody that, unfortunately, most salespeople call the gatekeeper.
Okay.
And they have this vision of this horrible person with spiked teeth that are like the guy out of James Bond, or girl.
And there's pointy glasses.
Yep, whose sole intention is to ruin the livelihoods of salespeople and never put them through.
To the person you want to talk to.
So the moment you hear a lady or gentleman on the end of the phone who is not your prospect, your whole attitude changes. You go into fear mode and they hear it and they sense it. But they're not actually horrible people employed to ruin the livelihoods of salespeople. They're normally very highly qualified nowadays. Some of them even run their boss's diaries and look after their businesses while the boss is out playing golf or something. They're highly intelligent people who have two functions, apart from the other things I just mentioned. And that's one, to stop nuisance calls, getting through to their boss, and two, to put through calls they think their boss would be interested in.
Okay. So
in other words, I call them door openers.
Okay, love it, door openers. So, $64 million question. How do I get to say, what do I say, the right things to say, to get the door opener to open the door and put me through because I'm of value to their boss?
Comes back again to a previous video that we discussed a similar problem, and that was that we discussed problems.
Okay.
We talked about all the things that you could do, all the problems you've been ever been able to solve for every customer or client you've ever had in the past. You've made this huge long list, and you've made this huge long list of questions you can ask to identify those problems and see if they have them. So we're talking about problems, and what we're going to say is something along the lines.
So I'm Cheryl, the door opener, and I'm Cheryl, and you've just rang me, and I'm picking up the phone, and I'm saying, hello, Jeffrey Gardner's phone, how can I help you?
Hi, who's that speaking?
This is Cheryl, Jeffers PA.
Hello,
can I
Cheryl.
help?
My name is Neil from the XYZ company. And the reason I'm calling Jerry was it Jerry?
Oh, I forgot Cheryl.
Cheryl. No, the Cheryl's the PA.
Oh, I don't know.
Doesn't matter, her boss. Call him Jerry.
Yeah,
The
Jerry
reason
Gardner.
I'm calling Jerry
Yeah.
is that I'm working with several other companies in a very similar sector to yours who are all experiencing the same three major challenges. We've been able to help them, and the reason I'm calling is to see if you're having similar problems and if we can help you too. So could you put me through, please?
So you say some of the other companies. What other companies are you working with?
Cheryl's very unlikely to ask me that.
Okay, but you'd say something I couldn't say.
I
That's
couldn't
good.
possibly tell you that. I'm sorry, it's
Okay.
totally confidential.
Okay, so there's three options for Cheryl. One, she says, I don't think that's of interest. Now, the way you set it up, I don't think she'll say that because you have created intrigue and interest. The other thing is...
She thinks her boss is going to want to know
Yeah,
what their
of course,
problems,
yeah.
their competitors are having.
So the two options she has is putting you through straight away or saying, now is not a good time, but can I arrange a telephone call for looking in his diary 2 p.m. this afternoon? And then you've got the phone call and you come back at 2 in the afternoon, yeah?
That would be cool, wouldn't
Okay,
it?
so-
The other thing that could happen is that you phone up and they say, this has happened to so many salespeople, and I do laugh when I see them working and see them in action when I'm coaching sometimes. And they phone up, Cheryl answers the phone, and you say, can I speak to Gerald, whoever?
Yeah.
And they say, hold on a moment, and they put you straight through, and their phone's ringing. And you get so excited. And then you get the voicemail.
Yeah. So we'll deal with that one in a minute.
No, we'll deal with the voicemail in another video.
Oh, in another video. Okay.
It's too
so,
long.
so let's say, but the other thing she could say is, I can get him to ring you back, and I would guess that's a no-no because the chances of him ringing you back is less likely.
I'm going into a meeting very shortly, and my PA is off sick today. Could you tell me a convenient time for me to call him
so
back,
you say-
please?
Okay, so you've settled that one up, and now you've got the telephone call. You've been put through, or you've rang back at the time you've arranged.
And
Now you're talking.
let's assume that she hasn't actually told him why. She just said,
Yeah.
I think you should take this call.
Okay, so now you're talking to Jerry.
So now I'm talking to Jerry.
Hello, Jerry Gardner. How can I help you?
Hello, Jerry. It's Bruce King from the XYZ company, and this is a sales call. Would you like to hang up now?
Right, not heard that one before.
No, you haven't,
So-
nor has he.
Yeah.
So straight away we've got intrigue. I've made him sit up
Yeah.
and listen.
Well, quickly tell me what it's about, and I'll decide whether I'm going to hang up or not. Please.
I'm working with several companies in a similar sector to yours who are all experiencing the same three major challenges. And the reason for my call is to see if you're having similar problems, and if so, if we could help you too. Would you like me to continue?
I would be interested in finding out what challenges you think we have.
Indeed. In order to do so, obviously I need to ask you some questions. Have you got 15 minutes now, or better still, can we make an appointment for us to meet if you want to go and see them? You've got interest. The moment you've got interest,
Yeah.
if it's an appointment that you are looking for, you sell the appointment.
Yeah.
You can't sell it over the telephone, you don't try. So if it's expressed an interest and you want an appointment, Jerry, there's a number of questions that I need to ask you. There's going to be a lot of questions you're going to want to ask me. There's documents and other paperwork that I need to show you. So let's fix up an appointment. I need about 40 minutes of your time. When's a good day for you? Tuesday or Thursday next week, would you be free?
Okay, that's great. I can see how that would work. And my first reaction as a boss might be, I'd like to hear a little bit more before I get you in my calendar. I'm interested. You've got my interest. I'm not quite sure what you're offering me yet. So I'd quite like to know what that is.
Okay, let me
And
ask you a few questions. As far as your XYZ machinery
Yeah.
or videos are concerned, I understand that in other companies' cases, the problems they are having are X and Y and Z. Are you experiencing a similar challenge?
X and Y, Z is sorted. It's fine. Thanks. So we've got a couple of them, but not all three.
Okay.
So
Well,
you'd
let's
be happy
talk.
with them?
Yes.
Okay.
We're having a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not selling to them. Not the way idiots sell. Not the way 74%
So
of the sales.
I'm beginning to hear from you, because we've talked a lot, that actually selling isn't really selling. It's just about, like you said in a previous video, it's about identifying potential difficulties, problems, things that
That's
you
my
are
definition
able
of
to solve.
selling, yeah.
Yeah.
Exposing companies or individuals to problems they maybe never knew they had, and to opportunities they maybe never knew existed,
Yeah.
and then showing them how your idea, product or service can help them solve those problems and exploit the opportunities, and helping them to buy, which means you ask for the business.
Yeah. Fantastic. Again, insightful, wisdom, helpful. Thank you so much, Bruce. And I am looking forward to the next video on what to do if you get through to the answer machine. Hello, this is talk after the beep, beep, and you go,
It's the biggest opportunity you've got to establish your brand, your personality, your company's branding, your personal branding. Nothing can replace the sound of your voice.
Well, we look forward to hearing your voice in a future video. So thanks, Bruce.
Thank you. Great stuff, Neil.